Hello everyone. This will be a very different video than the one you are used to, and you already probably see one. I wasn't sure if to make this video, but I think it's so hilarious and I think it shows some facts about the ladder that are worth mentioning. So I went with Golgari deck based on slimes because slimes are cool, right? And I thought it's pretty decent deck. I like it. It can work. Oh boy, was I wrong. We actually played for nearly 2.5 hours and we won 2 games. I cannot believe those results. At some point I thought I would scrap the deck and just, play something that is better and make a video, but first of all, I don't really have time because I've spent so much on playing this deck, and I really thought that the deck will perform much better than this. I'm kind of shocked that it was destroyed so much. Winning 2 games in 2.5 hours. I hope that at least you can relate when you brew something that isn't like top cards. This is what happens very often, and this is always the problem with trying new decks and new cool cards while not getting absolutely smashed on the ladder. To be fair, the draws weren't great, but I don't think that's the issue. And as you can see, there were some changes to the deck, and they were amazing because we increased our wins from 0 to 1. Oh boy, like we will talk about the deck. So the stats are here, and if you want the stats, we actually have a quite good split of how much we lose against everything. So it seems that we only won against Mono White once and against Esper, and it was close. This was actually a very good game, and this one was pretty fun. Yeah, the games that we won and everything worked out were really fun, and I think that they're worth watching. But it just shows how not reliable some of the cards are and what happens when you are behind. So take it or leave it. I wanted to present, this is some kind of experiment for me, and I wanted to show you guys what's going on, and I wonder what the comments will be. What do you think about this kind of decks? I honestly enjoyed it. When it worked, it was fun. I like the slime team. I think the deck, it's so shocking for me because the deck is actually legitimately pretty good. It has a lot of synergies. I thought it will work, but obviously it doesn't at all. I don't know why. Maybe the day was off, and maybe I will try the same deck in 3 days and it will work miraculously. But yeah, that's how it is. So let's go into the deck and see what's exactly up. Alright, and we are in the deck list of this amazing Tier Z deck. I'm honestly surprised. I thought about the deck list. I thought everything will work out. Like you have mono black part of Eyetwitches, Shambling Ghast, Plumb the Forbidden, Deadly Disputes, Innkeeper that can ramp you into like Blob. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you ramp into Blob. But the main bulk of the deck is just very similar to tier 1 decks, so it's strange for me that the results are so different. I'm thinking that maybe this is some kind of ladder thingy, it happens. Like I've been losing with tier 1 decks on like one of the days, and I think I lost 17 games basically in a row. I couldn't get a single good draw for the whole day, and the next day everything started working again, and I went to Mythic with the same decks that I have kept losing. I'm not sure. I don't know what to think about this, but this is how it went. I think, yeah, I don't know even how to present this deck, because obviously this is full junk and fun deck. I really wanted to make slimes and something with Skeletal Swarming and with the block. So I think I will just present what the idea was behind the deck. Maybe you can improve on this. Maybe you will have better results in different ladders, because I've been like having a lot of aggressive matchups with honestly nearly perfect draws, so maybe that's a problem. I'm not sure. So the idea for the deck was pretty simple, that we want to create a lot of creatures that can ramp us into early Consuming Blob or Skeletal Swarming, because both of those cards give you value as they go. So the longer you have them in the board, the more value you have. Consuming Blob for anyone that doesn't play this deck and this card. And honestly, if you think about crafting it, really think twice. It's a cool card, but it's not a good card. Consuming Blob, 5 mana. Basically, what it does is it copies itself at the end step, and each of those slimes have power and toughness equal to the number of card types among your graveyard. Not all of the graveyards, only yours. And toughness is of course 1 higher, so it doesn't die. Even if you don't have cards in the graveyard. And that's basically it. So when you cast it and you have 4 different types, so like land, creature, sorcery, instant, it is a 4/5 that makes a 4/5. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And in some of the games when it works, you have so much stats for 5 mana, you can get like 16, 20 just out of this one card. And that was a big idea. Skeletal Swarming, very similar, it just creates skeletons that ramp up. Of course, the card is pretty sweet, but I think that maybe it fights for the main strategy with the blob. Maybe we need to focus one of those, but hard to say. And definitely you have a lot of value with Skeletal Swarming and the blob, because every creature that you create is basically transferable to a card, and they at some point will die, and you can, in response, of course, save the creature by sacrificing it, and you get basically like a 3/1. And that's the point of the deck, so in theory it should work, it should give you a lot of card advantage, and the biggest deal is Meathook Massacre. This is the main point of how you win the games, unless you go for a very good draw and you just sweep the enemy while he has no cards in the hand. So of course you will win them as well. So with that being said, yeah, I like the slime. I'm so sad that it doesn't seem to work, at least in this deck. And what can we say? You will see different cards in the game sometimes, because we've been changing things. I actually had this 4 mana legendary, I don't know, snake thingy, something. Yeah, this one. I made it on the cover because I thought it would be sweet. It basically gives hexproof to the untapped creatures and death touch to the tapped ones, but it has 4 mana as a cost and it doesn't really bring much value, and I thought that removal is just so important. You need removal in current standard. Even with sweepers, you need to answer every creature that enemy plays, like Naturalis, Aspirant, Raiju, whatever. All of those cards are so scary and you often don't have enough time to remove them. Especially against enchantments, you can get 2 for 1 with every removal. And for the sideboard, basic conjuration is the only thing that you can consider. I think introduction to prophecy is really important, because very often you are finding yourself with no value. When you don't have Skeletal Swarming or the blob, you don't really have much. So that's the point. Of course, for the synergies, you have Plumb the Forbidden, which works with the Sedgemoor Witch, which also works with Deadly Dispute, so we can make a lot of tokens. Basic conjuration was in idea to find the blob or the witch. That was the idea, and I think it's pretty decent. It's 3 mana, try to fetch a card that can win you the game. And yeah, Mascot Exhibition, of course, is a very strong stat-packed finisher for every situation. Don't forget, Field of Ruin can put a land into the graveyard, so this can make your Consuming Blob stronger. I can't talk after today. And Ziatora can be cycled, which puts the land into your graveyard, so that also works with the blob. Alright, that was that introduction. You saw the stats. We are at whooping, I think it was like around 10% win rate or lower. I don't know what to say. It's just insane. I think this was partially just a bad day, but definitely the deck doesn't feel very strong, and the reason it falls behind, I feel, is the fact that it doesn't really go very aggressive, so the Skeletal Swarming cannot, leverage this aggression that you have with the skeletons. Enemy can basically ignore them, and this card on its own is not enough to kill the enemy, and the other cards don't really help, unless you have Meathook Massacre. We were quite unlucky with drawing it, so maybe that's part of the problem, but you don't really pressure enemy life total too much with this deck, at least from my experience, even though from the build it should, but it didn't work like this. And that's the problem with Skeletal Swarming, that it doesn't contribute too much to your game plan. And Consuming Blob is great when it works. Problem is that it doesn't do anything on the enter the battlefield, and you need to go into the end step to get the second copy. It means that if enemy has Infernal Grasp, he just kills it and you gain nothing. What more, the creatures you produce are usually 3/4 or 4/5. It means that very often they are not threatening to kill the enemy insanely quickly. Like, imagine Imref in this place. It's just such a bigger creature in the end. So, well, there is a reason this card is not played. And I just used 3 mythics to craft this deck because I thought it will be fun. So, rip, F, and subscribe if you enjoyed this experiment, because oh boy, it hurts me on the soul. And I will definitely go find some more competitive decks for tomorrow, because yeah, I had enough today. To be honest, like, jokes aside, I really hope you will enjoy this video. I think it gives a different perspective on the whole thing. And I still think it is entertaining. I like playing different cards that sometimes do not work, and when they work, it is fun. And I think that's the point of video. From the viewer experience, I think it should be fun, and I hope it will. So tell me in the comments what you think. Do you like this kind of videos? Do you want more like this? Even if the deck just completely doesn't work, but it's still fun, at least to watch. Because there is a difference playing a deck and watching deck online. Sometimes you don't mind the deck isn't great because you will never play it, but the games are still fun to watch, and maybe that's the point, right? I hope it is. So with that being said, let's go into the games, let's go into the video. And if I tried not to rant, but imagine after losing for so much time, it was really hard. I hope I did a decent job of not ranting too much. Hope it's still enjoyable. So enjoy the games, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you appreciate all the pain that went into this video. Alright, that's definitely a decent start. We have Shambling Ghast for the turn 1 play. I'm not sure when we play the Witch. I don't want to sacrifice the treasure from the Innkeeper, so let's see what we draw. Alright, so if we play this... Yeah, this build gives double ramp, right? But we need to draw into untapped land, which is possible. So I think we actually do it. Oh no, now we can get Juarid. That was a big mistake. I should do it main phase. It's Esper, so there's high chance he doesn't play it, but nevertheless, that was a huge mistake, and basically no upside. There's not much we can get extra from this one, right? I guess we can surprise him with 5 mana play. You know what? Actually, that was a pretty decent thing. So, normally I would probably cast Blob, because we have like 2 trees. Yeah, and that's a lot of value every turn. However, this is a Doomskar. And against Doomskar, you don't really want to cast your main ramp spell as a creature that dies to Doomskar. And Skeletal Swarming is a big deal. It's also 5 mana, so he has March, but he needs to exile a lot of cards. So he needs to exile 2 cards, and probably that's what he's thinking about. And honestly, there is a chance that that is correct play. I'm not entirely sure, but that's definitely a viable option, because Skeletal Swarming will be a problem for the rest of the game, and he needs to remove it somehow. Ah, he chickened out. Chicken. Yeah, I understand him completely. It's such a hard choice. So you exile, what, 2 cards? And next turn he only needs to exile 1 card, which is very acceptable. Alright. So, what is the play? I definitely want to cast the Blob next turn. And we want to pressure... Oh, we want to pressure him most of all. This really plays into his sweeper idea. It is not perfect, but if he doesn't want to sacrifice all those cards, and we definitely will make him... Like, we will make it as awkward as possible. So right now I want to force a Doomskar play. Of course he won't do it, but then he removes Skeletal Swarming, it's his full turn, and he's left with so much board, it's not comfortable, and that's what we aim for. It will be still hard. Okay, sure. I actually really enjoyed this one. Not sure what we need. Okay, it's a forest. Easy. Interesting play. I guess he thinks that we play red as well. And for this reason he made suboptimal play. Void Rend. Okay, this is something he had to draw right now. Otherwise he wouldn't let so many skeletons, right? It has no sense. Alright, let's attack him. It's just 4 damage, unfortunately. Alright. Yeah, so the Skeletal Swarming is part of the buff, so that's why they aren't like bigger. It is part of the drawback, right? If we play the Blob, we get Doomscarred. So I don't think that's the great idea. We prefer something like maybe Deadly Dispute. Witch? Like, I'm not sure how good of a player he is. A good player wouldn't sweep probably this turn, because it's only 4 damage. And then we give him way too much time. If he is a bad player, he will sweep it. Yeah, I know, man. I'm thinking I will go for the longer game. But I'm scared. If he doesn't sweep, we are in trouble. And he doesn't, I guess. Yeah, well played, my friend. That's a correct decision. Oh, maybe? He also is tapped out completely then. Perfect. Okay. I don't mind it one bit. So, what is the play? Mascot Exhibition is pretty decent. And we are pretty close to it, so I think Mascot Exhibition is the way to go. That would be great last turn. But you know what? We ain't complaining. We have a Blob. Not expecting this, did you? Doomscar. So, 8, 10 for 5 mana. Seems pretty good. So this is March target. This is remove our target, so he still like is fine. But you know, what, like this animation is just so goofy. I don't like it at all. Yep, he had it. See, he had it from the start. That was his main thing that he wanted to think about. And now we did not hit a land. That's so unfortunate. This is actually a very big deal. Mascot Exhibition would be perfect play this turn. Instead, we need to go for suboptimal one. Let's go like this then. Playing Meathook is so tempting. It is such a big deal. But we need to sacrifice treasure, which means that we won't be able to cast Mascot Exhibition, even if we draw untapped land, and I think that's too much of a downside. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Alright, how do we play this out? Of course, well, this is a decent card at least. I think we just go for the big Meathook, right? But we still cannot go so high to kill this. Oh man, it's so annoying. This is actually so annoying. This was our Meathook turn. Oh boy. And we won't deal damage because of the shield thing. I guess we can break the shield, but it will prevent all the damage, right? That's how it works. Remove a shield counter instead, so full instance, so it won't get hurt, so we cannot Meathook for 4. This is so bad, because we need to commit to the board more than, and that's not what we want, and we don't know when we draw a land, so we cannot play around it. If we whiff on the land for 3 turns, we cannot just be passive and not do anything. That's so unfortunate. I think we need to play like this. He will just take the damage, because why wouldn't he? Like, bro, let's be honest, there's no point in blocking this one. If he blocks, that's the worst play of the century. Yeah, exactly. So, with that being said, whatever we play right now might be something we have to sweep next turn, and he will untap, which is even worse. So, then he can play... We need to go all in. It is unfortunate, but we need something that produces value every single turn. And what worse, if he has Doomscar, he can swipe only our board. Okay, now he cannot. Because he could just not attack, swipe the board, and the shield counter would prevent everything, which is horrible for us. Kaito, okay. I don't like it, but it's not the worst that could happen. But definitely a big problem for us. This will be so hard to win. Like, enemy is going full control mode right now, and we've whiffed on the turn when we needed the land to play Mascot Exhibition to keep the pressure. With this deck you generally really want to have a lot of pressure, and enemy starting with the Doomscar definitely does not help. Yeah, double Meathook against control, thank you deck. So I guess he will double block the Sedgemoor Witch and remove the blob, I guess. Well, enemy has a lot of options definitely. While we cannot play the only thing we want to play really. I don't mind Witch trading because then we deal more damage. Yeah, this is the better play in my opinion. I guess the Warden already got the full value, but it will be hard. I like the word paying though. Okay, so this is actually incredibly important. Because this is how we kill the enemy. We cannot prevent his sweepers. So best we can do is try to prevent yeah, his life total. He needs to find a way to heal in the deck. And so far he didn't have one. And then he needs to kill you before you kill him, and that's a very different beast. So this is a Doomscar, I guess? This looks like a Doomscar.
There's no secret I can't
Unless he needs just to draw anything. But it is hard. Like, we have 4 damage to do, and with Mascot Exhibition we won't have enough. We will lack 1, exactly 1. Of course, if we can attack, that's great. Ooh, boy, maybe he doesn't have Sweeper. Like, it's not said that he has Sweeper. He only drew half of his deck, so statistically he should have another Doomscar, but sometimes you just whiff a bit. If he plays Spot Removal, in this situation, it means that he probably doesn't have a Sweeper. Alright, alright. 3 mana left, intentionally, that's interesting. Yep, 7. Love to see it. That's an interesting game. Like, honestly. So we can cast Mascot Exhibition. 3 mana. So okay, I think I know what he wants to do. He wants to block this one, kill this one. But he needs to pay ward, right? That hurts him so much. I'm thinking about casting Meathook for 1, because then we deal more damage. Enemy might counter it, but yeah, problem is that he can kill Meathook Massacre with Void Rend. How many he used? 2. 3, so I'm not sure he might play 4 of them. He might have this in hand. We need Meathook to win the game. We definitely needed to win the game. But to be honest, even 1 damage is enough, I think. And if he targets the Witch, it might not be enough. Voidrant is an instant though, that's something we need to remember. Maybe he doesn't have, like, having the 4th one in top 26 cards would be very unlikely. Obscura chat. You need to pay, my friend. Oh boy. Okay, I like what I'm seeing. Enemy tapped out. And we just won the game, didn't we? Yeah, perfect mana. Completely planned. And that's why you need to make sure that you have the Meathook. This is how you win the game against control. They can kill your creatures, but they get drained during this process. And that is enough, my friend. I want good game him first, but let's be prepared, because enemy played it very well, I think. Yeah, it is unfortunate for him because he didn't draw a second sweeper when he needed it. He needed sweeper last turn, and then I think he would win the game, but he didn't, and then we win. It seems that oh hi to you. Man, such a nice sneak, and you are salty about losing, it seems. So let's cut this part, because it seems that the enemy will rope us fully for no reason, so let's take it. Okay, so unfortunately our friend oh hi to you decided to go full rope with 4 timeouts. I think it was on purpose, to be honest, which is unfortunate. But Raska is advancing, so that's all that counts. And just for educational part of the video, I really think he shouldn't attack. I think he did it just to draw this one card with Kaito, and the probability of drawing perfectly Doomscar is not so high, so that was a bad decision, because if he didn't attack, he would block additional slime and he wouldn't die to Meathook, so I don't know his hand, but I think that was a mistake. Okay, this is definitely a very strange hand, but I kinda like it. We are on the play with double sweeper, and that's usually enough to win the games, to be honest. Like in current format, most of the decks are just full-blown aggro thingies, so no. Okay, and of course, as I said, it's just a control deck. Alright, and against control, this will be harder. Is it? Okay, so next turn Fable, I guess. Let's play Forest, because we want to cast it on Forest anyway. So why not do it? No Juari. Perfect, perfect. Like, so far it's going okay. You need to remember, if you cast Path of Peril, Magecraft triggers, but you still kill the pest because it's 0 converted mana cost. So it might work with like Meathook Massacre or things like this, but definitely not just to sacrifice this for a pest, because in this matchup this card basically doesn't count. Okay, fair shot, but we still deal 3 damage, right? And we make more witches. And they are not countered. Culling Ritual is interesting in this matchup because you can get rid of all his treasures and you can do it main phase here. Then you can cast everything you want at this turn, and that's a big deal. He cannot like propagate mana between the turns, and he indeed has Juari in the deck. Okay, sure. How do we do it? Attack. We need to deal as much damage as possible. I think how we win this is spamming creatures with Meathook. Let's go for black. We have quite a lot of those cards. Can we ramp in any way? Not really, right? I think this is the best we can do. He has something, it might be... That was quicker. I think he has Juari. Because I didn't feel priority with creature, but I felt priority when I cast a spell, and he had 2 mana, so I think he has Juari in the hand. That really showed in this turn. He might have also like make disappear or something like this, but I think it was Juari. Alright, so generally we want to maximize, and I mean maximize the damage. Enemy cannot activate the horse, so we attack and see what he does. I'm pretty sure Witch will die. Which is not a big deal. The joke. Sure. Let's exile. And Baleful Master is saving the day again. We also have great way to use it, so that's actually insanely important. And I did a mistake. No. That was not a mistake. Because you can wait until he double blocks Witch, and then you basically get a free trade, but in this case we actually want to deal the face damage more than we want to, you know, outvalue him on the board. So he still blocks, but this is more damage. And this is how we win the game, right? If we win, this is how. We can pay Juari if he wants. Yep. You can feel the stick, right? It's only when we cast something and he has 2 mana or more. That was pretty decent play, not gonna lie. That was a good one. Basically, this traded for a removal. Oh boy. This treasure just got some extra value right now. Let's see where the shield goes. Oh, 5/5. Okay, I see. We have quite a lot of options, to be honest. But in reality, we probably just attack with Eyetwitch, right? So far, he did not have counter spells. I think he might not have a lot of those. Like, we can sweep, but that's not great for us. And I don't really want to... I could attack with Witch, I guess, but I don't like sweeping my part of the board. I think we need way more invested from the enemy side to make it count. And we do it right now. because enemy is tapped out. I just want to make sure that we get whatever we want. Mythic Conjure, no, Necrotic Fumes, of course. That was a stupid thing to even think about, really. And let's exile it, and exiling actually does matter as well. So maybe I should do it pre-attack. I didn't think about it. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. So learn from my mistakes, and we should do the sacrifice before attack. So we lose 1 damage from Eyetwitch, we gain 3 damage from Witch. So that was actually just a bad play, simply put. And I will put the Shambling Ghast at the expense of 1 treasure. We need to ramp up a bit of damage on the board. Even though it probably dies to something we use, it's fine. We get the treasure or we get the -1, we will make it work somehow. So let's see if he has another Titan. He doesn't have triple green, so Titan is not an issue in this turn. Unless he casts Windfall. No, Windfall doesn't give enough mana. So Titan is not the case for this turn. Alright, let's see. Fable. Pretty decent. We can clear everything, but we need something good as a payout. 2 or less. Okay, that's a 3 damage. I guess in this case, Binding. That's an interesting one. I really want the Meathook Massacre, it's just such an important card right now. If he attacks, then he cannot block. I really don't want him to ramp, to be honest. But with treasure, let's try it. If he attacks with Shaman, he loses it, because we can trade with the gas, so it's not the worst. He basically gets 1 treasure. He gets the 3rd green, so he can cast his Titan. But if he casts the Titan, we can use Path of Peril. There's high chance he will just heal again. And let's not attack. Basically, you can see that we are slowly equaling in cards because we grind for value more. I'm waiting for Meathook Massacre. This is the play. We need to play Meathook Massacre and then lose all those creatures, because this is basically 3 extra damage. Very shortly, like in 5 next cards. Alright. 1 damage gone, but he gets the treasure. It's interesting. He probably needs green quite a lot if he did this play. So I guess this treasure must be impactful in some way. Yeah, told you. Exactly. The smarty place. Okay, I'm so proud of myself right now. Exactly as we wanted. Everything worked exactly as we predicted. That's so good. Alright, how do we do it? I think this is the turn. Enemy is also tapped out. Let's just make sure that we don't get Jawaried, because that would be pretty embarrassing. Do we care about the attacks? You know what? Let's bait. Like, they die anyway. That's not a big deal. And he might think about not blocking, because it's such an obvious bad decision that he might think we have Meathook or something. Like, I shouldn't have played around. That's a mistake. Alright, he went for it. And he even blocked with the highest toughness creature. That is pretty brave. Alright. And we still have 1 mana for Jawari. Of course, if he has Negate, that's a big issue, but then we lose. Sorry, let's be honest, then we lose. But I don't think he has it. I think he has Jawari. And I think he's waiting with this Jawari since like 5 turns. Oh my god, he actually had the Make disappear. Okay, that's a big hit. So we take what, 15? We are at 8, we cast this and this. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a lot of damage. Do we die? Yeah. No, we are at 1. That was so close. I don't think we can win anymore. So, this way we get Golgari mana. Now we kill the Titan. But the hole, the freaking hole was enough. That was a good game. Let's be ready. Yep. That well played, my friend. That I really enjoyed this one. That was a good one. Oh boy, we were pretty close, but Meathook is such integral part of this deck. You needed to just drain enemy. Alright, I'm excited for this hand. We have perfect mana, we have Innkeeper, and hopefully we can hit lands. In the worst case, we just use the Deadly Dispute to fix our draws. So, you know, I hope for perfect ramp with Skeletal Swarming, but if that's not the case, it's also okay. It's not perfect, it's okay. Dockside Chef. So it might be a mono black with Snow Team and Blood on the Snow, Lolf and so on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. They have luxury of playing a lot of Field of Ruins, because in the end they are all swamps before they hit 6. And no, good bait, not gonna happen. I am taking this damage like a boss. And you know what? I do and okay, oh, never mind. We attack first. Never miss a damage with this deck. Like, jokes aside, 1 damage can be the difference between winning with this deck, because very often you rely on Meathook Massacre to drain the enemy, and sometimes you will lose the game, while enemy has 1 HP. So don't let it happen. Enemy Deadly Disputing, or maybe just sacrificing the chef. Oh, that's interesting play. That's not normally what you do. Alright, so we keep the ramp. The treasures are treated like real treasures from our side, because this is how we ramp and we cannot ensure land drops. Like, you know me, I'm missing lands most of the games. So for this, oh man, this is such a good bait. I didn't think of it. Like, the enemies think we are playing red and they always use Field of Ruin in a very bad way just to kill our land. They are so greedy and basically we punish them for it. Wow, this is actually so good. We can draw some extra cards thanks to this. Do I want to? So the blob is a given. Yeah, I will play it because I don't want to miss any more lands, and we refill the treasury anyway. Yeah, as you can see, we still didn't hit a land, even with all of this, which is pretty insane to be honest. And you know what? Oh, is it the blob or the swarming? Alright, what is in the deck? They have 1, 2, 3 drops creatures, they have Blood on the Snow, Meathook Massacre, Lolf, Sorin, and removal for creatures. They cannot really compete with Skeletal Swarming. And I know you guys love this card. And honestly, I can understand why. It is pretty fun. And it also makes a great target for Deadly Dispute. So we can keep drawing cards basically for free, right? Are you freaking serious? I didn't see this card since 2 months. Honestly, I did not see anyone playing this card since 2 months. And this is... oh my god, I'm triggered right now. Oh boy, I'm so triggered. And just for the record, this was the correct decision. Nobody plays this card ever. Oh my god. I'm just dead inside right now. Alright, how we do this? I think we go for Deadly Dispute. We cannot play the blob this turn, so we need to ensure that the next turn it will, you know, make things done. Baleful Master is a good card here, because it can exile Lolf, which means, and we do it right now, no reason not to. Do we minus actually? We get 1 treasure and we hit the land. We definitely hit the land. And yeah, enemy gets the lesson, that's good for them, but we sneak more damage, we create some pressure. I don't want to trade with the skeleton, I want it on the board. You know, it's not much, but it's definitely better than not having the board. Yeah. And can I please hit my lands? Thank you, game. Still not as much as I would like it to be, but you know, I will take it. Smork. Like, this small damage that you sneak by is actually so important. This is the difference very often between winning and losing games. And let's go for the Eyetwitch. Enemy has no answer, so no exile effect at instant. And treasure is too important because our land draws really suck. Like, they honestly do. We draw nearly 1/3 of the deck when we are at 4 lands, that's pretty insane. So it seems that we are playing on like 12 lands in the full deck. This is the ratio that we are getting. And that's an amazingly good card in this situation. At least this is a very easy choice. Normally I would take Containment Bridge because this is game-winning card, but because we are so mana screwed, we need to play in a very bad way, just to accommodate for it. And fortunately, next turn it's Blood on the Snow. He gets back the Chef or the Eyetwitch. Probably the Eyetwitch, right? Shambling Ghast gives us something, but I don't think it's good enough. I think Blob is enough to create a lot of pressure on the board. Like, man, this card really packs a punch. Unfortunately, it dies to double removal, and it's such a good target that they generally really want to get it like removed. He needs Blood on the Snow. I would definitely play a sweeper against those cards. It's worth a sweeper. Maybe he doesn't have it. You can also see a small difference that the token is not a big creature. Oh boy. Enemy is drawing like a god. Like, seriously, every single answer he wants, while we scramble to just hit our land drops. Like, oh boy, we will do it. We will definitely do it. And you know what? We have enough lands, so now we can sacrifice the land. And if he has those dead invoke the spells, now he will sweep. And that's a good play on his part. Like, he maximizes the value while we get mana screwed. So that's definitely how we win games, right? Props to him, but this... Yeah, I told you, he had it turn before too. Feed the Swarm. It's so unreal that we actually hit a deck that has this. Like, I'm speechless. It doesn't seem random at all. Like, I seriously didn't meet this kind of deck in months. Not a single card like this. And when we start playing our first Skeletal Swarming, this is the first answer from the deck. It feels weird. It definitely does. And now we don't really have much going on for us. Not really, right? So let's just, I guess, get some lands. Now the environmental science could be a mascot. Oh boy. Yeah, we definitely got insanely behind after he got this, you know, perfect card for the matchup that nobody plays. In the perfect turn when he needed it. That definitely helps winning the games. Yeah, that was the big one. Okay, so this is why we kept the Baleful Master, even though it's great on Eyetwitch as well.
I will show you
Sure.
what happens.
And we'll of course remove Lolf at the end step, so at least it doesn't get back with the Blood on the Snows that he definitely has in the end. So let's just make it work. I'm not sure about Path of Peril. We might do it, but then he just gets the Mascot Exhibition, right? So maybe we just wait until the Mascot Exhibition, especially that the Ghast is just pretty good against the Spiders, so I don't think we need more. I guess we played the land. He also seen it, so no reason to hide it. Sometimes you want to keep those lands, but not in this case. Alright, so I hope for the Mascot Exhibition, then we get ours and we switch the board basically. But the fact that he has Meathook and we had to use our Lesson to try to hit lands, I guess it didn't work, but at that point that was the decision we had to make. And that also put us even more behind. Okay, and that was the plan. That was basically what we wanted. Do we care about the priority? Alright, we need to double block, sure. Yeah, we need to be careful about the damage and we lose the creatures anyway. I don't think there's any sense in not taking the treasure. It might be useful for deadly disputes, I guess. But our draws are definitely very bad. Alright, so Meathook Massacre. Yeah, we create a treasure here. I'm between Mascot Exhibition and Conjuration, but it's hard to outvalue the Mascot Exhibition. Especially that we can... oh boy, that's actually amazing. You know what? This actually solves a lot of our issues. So, let's play this. You know, sweep everything in the board. Seems about right. And let's cast Meathook Exhibition. Oh my god, I'm doing the same mistake again. Let's cast Exhibition for 7 mana that we got for free. Oh boy. Oh my god, do we do it again? That's so weird. If we don't cast it, then he might cast it first. I know, I felt the pain as well. Of wasting 7 mana that we finally got. This was the most I got from Culling Ritual. It's super suspicious, but I hope he plays into it. Like, we need to go for... Oh, hi. Let's see how many of the swarmings he has. Whatever, feed the swarm, right? That's the name of this very played card, especially in Boros meta. Oh boy. Okay, sure. Let's make some skeletons and make this game turn around. No, stop touching this card. You are banned from touching this card. I don't want you Valkyries anywhere around. Are you freaking serious? Are you freaking serious? This guy just main decks 2 of those, or even 4. What is going on? Like, seriously, what is going on? Oh my god. What the hell? You know what? I'm just attacking. I guess we need to go into value game, unfortunately, which is extremely hard because that's not what our deck does. Like, exactly for the fit of the swarm decks, which are... Oh, yes. Magic. I'm ranting so much because it feels super weird. That's my point. Like, I'm not jumping to conclusions, but all I know is that I didn't see this card for full months, and the moment I play high cost enchantment deck, because this is basically a main win condition together with the ooze, I see deck with 2 of them, and that seems super weird. But yeah, probably a coincidence, right? And this is definitely a big issue. We can double block, but that doesn't help us very much. Yeah, the trades are pretty awful. So I think we need to be aggressive. It sucks because he can just kill us if he's smart. For our luck, he didn't realize that, you know, he can kill us by attacking with spiders. And that's basically our best bet because we were dead. But yeah, I'm speechless. I'm honestly speechless. Yeah, so I guess, guys, if you are playing this deck, be careful about the decks with Feed the Swarm main deck, especially multiple ones. You know, the sorcery speed removal that loses you life more than Infernal Grasp in Boros meta. Definitely a very popular choice. Oh my god, I'm so angry right now. I'm so mad. Let's see the card from the top. If that's not good, I'm just conceding at this point. Like, it feels like being in best of 3 against sideboarded opponent, to be honest. So obviously, oh wow, yeah, that's a good summarize for this game. I hope you enjoyed it though. All right, we are going. Opponent goes first, right? So what does it mean? I guess we ramp a bit. I think we can hit the Skeletal Swarming on turn 3 in reality, so let's try to make it work. Innkeeper is really nice with Deadly Dispute, because you basically... Oh my god, stop this crap! Oh my god, it's still going. And we have to do it, right? Please, just go away with those tax creatures. Let us play Magic. We want to have our skeletons in the game. Well, definitely long way to go. At least they didn't have a follow-up Talia and we drew a land. Okay, I'm happy. I'm really happy about how it turned out in the end. Let's play like this. Like, this is a very strong turn right now. Because we ramp and we make sure that we ramp even more. And when we can hit Plumb the Forbidden, I expect good things to happen. Okay, I think that for this game we actually are looking really great. Enemy also has good draw, but yeah, pretty good overall. Alright, how do we do it? You don't want to do it. I think he should do it still. If we attack with the Ghast, I think he will block with the Asher and will be tempted to just, you know, get some value. I hope this is what happens. This is bad play. Oh my god, he went through it. Okay, okay, I tried. It could work. It didn't. But we have skeleton and we gain one life. So that's all it counts. Yeah, I guess we try to make it work in a different way. So we will go for the slower Meathook, but definitely a much bigger one. And we are at 22, so even though he has great attack this turn, it's not good enough. He should put it on Adeline, of course, because of the toughness, so the Meathook cannot hit her. But he went for the greed, and we love to see it. Easy. So that will be the biggest hit that we will take this game. And that's basically it, right? So now we attack with this one. Yeah, I think we will win this game. That is 1 damage. Now we deadly dispute. We ramp. We ensure that we get more skeletons. And this will result in better Meathook at some point. I honestly think we might even go for the Plumb the Forbidden at the end step. Yeah, we get so much life. We can block everything and basically make sure that the board is clear. Of course. Oh boy, they always have it when they need it. But still, that's not the biggest deal. Like, we can just block everything this turn. 5. We can definitely Meathook for 5 next turn. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about what's going on here. And we will draw so many cards. We need to watch on our HP total because we will draw so many cards. Adeline is the right choice, of course. Every single time. But if he attacks, and of course he will, we will sacrifice the Ghast, right? Yeah, he went for full greed mode. That's a big attack, of course. Alright, so let's minimize the damage, I guess. This, this, and this. And now let's count. So we get hit for 6, 9. No, how was it 6? Oh my god. So 4, 7. So we are at 10. Yeah, I do not mind this at all. Alright, we are having fun finally. Good. I kinda like what's going on. Let's make sure that we get the treasure. And that's a lot of cards. And that's how we win the control matchup. And we heal back with Meathook Massacre. So Plumb the Forbidden finally showing some power with Skeletal Swarming. You love to see it. And we have enough lands that I'm pretty sure Mascot Exhibition will be good enough. Easy 4 damage. And enemy is tapped out, so he cannot protect anything. If he wasn't tapped out, I would probably be playing a bit more conservatively. I didn't accent it right, but it's okay. Okay, and we heal back by quite a lot. We will discard one of the lands. It's probably Field of Ruin. And this will be, yeah. I mean, we keep the Field of Ruin, of course, in case he gets the cave, because this is one of the ways he can theoretically come back, but I don't think he can really. Alright, that's Adversary. Definitely not enough to beat our situation. And let's try to make some fun. We really deserve it today. We really do. So let's just make slime skeletons, and this is how you win with skeletons. Yay! Alright, so we are going first, as usual, without a ramp. Is this good hand? It's not great, but on the draw I think we can accept it. Just because I just want to play Magic and have 4 lands and cards that I can play. And this hand does it. So, you know, my bar for expectations is a bit low. So, and of course, it's the same game as usually. And binding is a crucial part of this game, because this is something that will ramp us. Okay, so this is green. Do they have red? Man, every single game. Like, I just played this exactly one game before. It's kind of insane that we keep doing this over and over. Anyway, so this might be Helena and Alina deck that I just played against. Let's see how good their top decks are. On the bright side, we have Creature. Wow, this is the perfect draw. You cannot get better than this against our deck. Oh, Magic, why are you doing this to me? Like, it is actually insane how good their draw is. I've been playing mono white and I don't remember having this kind of matchup. Anyway, because like for the first 1, 2, 3, perfect. Second, initiate trains every. Look at this hand. Like, if I had tutors in my hand, I couldn't get better hand than this. This is literally as good as it gets ever. Yeah, it's 5 mana. How is it? Oh, it's so taxed. Yeah. So we can kill one of the creatures and survive. Is Consuming Blob? No, it's just 1, 2. It's not good enough. We need... Yeah, we need this one. This is the highest damage, and the other creatures have 1 toughness, so like we need to play to our outs, even though the enemy draw is just insanely perfect. Okay, that wasn't perfect enough. I think you needed a bit more perfectness. Like, what the hell is going on? While we cannot even find a 1-drop during the whole early game. Yeah, by the way, game crashed in the meantime as well.